Hi, Julia. Welcome back. We have another episode of our Disrupt Life podcast today. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm every day better.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
You've had a bad run of ill health lately, haven't you? You've
Yes.
had a real
Maybe you can explain why, because it's very crazy and unbelievable. But
yeah, it is, and it's
but
not
the
even
truth.
it's not even COVID related.
No.
It's everything anything other than COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the most recent one you had was Giardia,
Yes.
which is like a parasite in your stomach, which you
Yes.
got from your dog.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's caused you a lot of trouble, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I had to sprint a continent, to get a medicine.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah,
And
yeah, right.
and to take that shit out from my body. And
But you've got it now, right? It's gone.
I got it now. It is now. I think 3 or 4 days from the last tablet I got,
Yeah.
from the last pill,
Yeah.
and I feel like a newborn.
Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, because I was ill more or less 2 months long.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
was a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I got in the middle antibiotics, and they doesn't work because they are resistant to the antibiotics.
Yeah.
And then I thought maybe I take some medicine, because my logic, I'm always thinking in the logic way, and that's helped me every time. People think I'm crazy, but I was talking to my gastroenterologist, and he was watching me like, okay, what she's telling me now. But I think people should know that if you don't help yourself sometimes in the medicine, they are not going to help you. Why? Because the reason is because of the pharma industry, because what they want to sell, because where they are going making money with your health, or not with your health. With your health, they don't make
Actually,
money.
they want you to be unhealthy, so they make money from you.
And this is this, they give always medicaments for to get the illness away or the pain, or just but not to really help you. I think doctors are very good persons when you have an accident, broken legs, or something like that, or a very urgent operation, but before, you have to take care about yourself. And we have now the luck, sometimes it's the unluck, but I think in the social media, it's like to go to the book shop and to buy a book. It's just you buy a good book or you buy a shit book. And in the social media, you need to know how to use it, and you need to know which which
source,
which resource, which magazines, and which people write it about what, and if it's if you can believe that, and it's credibility with or not. And I do that, and then I take out a lot, because I really always fortune. I am
researching.
Yeah, researching.
Yeah,
I'm
I actually wanted to say you take your health very seriously. You do a lot of your own research. Like I noticed that when you had also before the Giardias, thank you. You had this thyroiditis with your neck or with your throat as well, and I was I wouldn't say surprised, but it was curious to see how much you invested of your own research into understanding more about that and wanting to know why, how, where, what was the start of it. You really, really went into it. A lot of people, well, people that I've known in the past, if they've been ill or they've had a serious illness, they've kind of, and I'm like that, I think myself. It's like, I just go to the doctor, I get the medicine, and I'll get better. But you were really like, no, I'm going to understand this. I want to know why, how, and how we can fix this.
Yes,
so,
because it's not, I think that the problem in the medicine that we have now, or we had it before through the years, is that how we are divide our body, you know. That means we have a doctor for your heart, we have a doctor for the muscles or for the bones, we have a doctor for the stomach, and we have a doctor from the liver, and we have a doctor from the, you know, from the thyroids, from the, and we have a doctor from the your sexuality organs. And but you know, look at me, I am divided. No,
No. You are.
Everything is
You
together.
are whole.
You too. You know,
Yep.
my arm is here and the
Yep.
other.
Yep.
So it's very. If you think, you know, I'm not doctor. But if you think logic, you know, and God give us the logic thinking. You know, if you think logic, use it. Use your logic. And
Think logically.
if it cannot be that if you have pain in your stomach, maybe it's because another thing, and all is connected, you know. They connected the body and of course to the spirit and the,
Well, Chinese medicine works very much off
yeah,
that.
but
Everything's connected.
yeah, but the body's, you know, if you have a illness, sometimes it's coming possible 100% from another part, you know, that you don't know exactly why. And I discover all the time new things, how the body is reacting, if you give them this or the other things, and it's very interesting. And for me, it's helped me all the time, like now, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think people's personal health it's like everything. It's a very personal choice that people make about how they handle and manage their own health. And I think COVID, even with, you know, the last 2 years, it's put a magnifying glass on a lot of people, and perhaps thinking about other ways that they can improve their health, so that if they have something like COVID, that they're not going to be so badly affected by it. Because I think obviously being healthy and getting something like that is probably, you're better off being healthy than not. So if you are overweight, or if you eat poorly, or you drink too much alcohol, or you don't drink enough water, or you take no vitamins as supplements, you're probably going to have a worse outcome from COVID than not.
Yeah, we don't know exactly with COVID because it's a very strange illness. I think depends a lot because it's very individual. You know,
Yeah.
you see people now. Today I was speaking with someone. She got COVID. All the family, they are 3 times shot with the shots.
Yeah.
You know, vaccinated
Yeah,
with
yeah.
shot, vaccine with
Yeah,
vaccines,
yeah.
3 vaccines, and she was really ill. And he had got the vaccines. He has nothing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
My sons, they don't have vaccines. They are against vaccines, and they had no symptoms.
Yeah. And they've both had it now?
Felipe not just Spain, but
Okay.
the girlfriend too from my son,
Yeah.
and they don't have nothing. They
Yeah, but they're young.
yes, they are young, but we have another. They have another friend. They have the vaccines, and he got really sick.
Yeah.
Even he's young. Just not to go to the hospital, but you know, blood at home. It's like five.
Like a really bad grip.
Yes,
flu.
yes, and I think COVID is very individual.
Yeah.
You cannot really think why it's happened that to you with vaccines and will not without vaccines. And I don't know if the statistics are real. I don't believe in the statistics in the world. I don't believe it. I don't believe. Sorry. I don't know, but I don't believe that, because they are manipulated, and there are many interests behind. And I want to make my own opinion. It's the only thing I have, you know, at the moment. And I use my own opinion. And I try to be healthy how I can. I got 2 vaccines, but I don't got the 3 one, the short
the
one.
booster.
Yeah,
No, but you didn't want to get that because your health has been, you know, it has not been great the last few months, and you didn't want to run the risk of having
and
a
the 2
booster
vaccines.
and then possibly making it worse.
Yes, and the 2 vaccines, they was in my body working different like in another bodies.
Of course.
I couldn't get blood, you know, out. Do you remember that?
That's
My blood
right. You
was-
told me. Yeah.
It was very strange, and
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh my God, I leave it.
Yeah.
I say, oh,
Exactly.
and I didn't know what's wrong.
Weird.
You know?
But I guess we started the conversation around health,
Yeah.
but we wanted to talk about moments,
About moments,
and
yes.
special moments in life. But I think what's important is health is so vital to our lives, right? If we're not healthy, we can't enjoy moments.
No.
We can't have nice moments and special moments. So I think that's probably why we started talking with health. But let's talk a little bit about happy life moments. Now, you've told me some amazing stories of things that you've experienced through your life and some of the things that you've done. What, from your perspective, what are some of the most memorable, happiest moments that you've had? And I know you've told me some that I think would probably be up there, but I'm not going to speculate as to whether they might be it. Maybe you've got some other ones you haven't already told me. So what are special moments for you, and how much value do you hold on those?
I will not tell you how many because I had a lot, but I have always experience. How I can tell you, I feel very, very happy. It's a very strange kind of happiness when I am in the nature, you know?
When you're in nature.
Yeah, when I'm in nature. And one day I was very crazy. I don't know why I feel that, but I remember that moment like a very happy moment. I'm very with myself, you know?
Yep.
Nobody gave me that. It was myself and the nature. And I was walking with a girlfriend of mine in Valdoviño. There is this amazing beach in Galicia, in north of Spain. And when I was young, I was making holidays there. Depends of the weather. I come from a corner. It's very rude, and the weather is stormy and very heavy, you know. And if you have a good weather, you go to this kind of beaches. They are open water and very big ones, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers long beaches. Wonderful, very wild, and with 3 meters or 4 meters waves. And if it's bad weather, you go to the little ones. You know, they are more not open water. It's like a closed water, and they don't have too much wind, and they are closer, and you don't have too much strömmen. Corriente,
Currents.
Waves, and you don't have too much.
Yeah, the current.
Yeah, corriente. Yeah,
Yeah.
current.
Yeah.
No, to swim. So, and the weather is a little bit warm. The thing is, I was long time not have been in that beach, and I was with a girlfriend of mine, with Sandra Rodriguez. Hello, Sandra. She's in Chile now, and she. We was walking, there was nobody there. I think it was October or the end of September, October. It was sunny, but not too hot. And it was more so sundown. And we was walking, and she went before me. She was maybe 500 meters far away from me. So I stayed behind, and I decided to get my clothes out and to lie on the sand. So naked, yeah. And then the water was coming. I was thinking, okay, I lie here. The water was coming, and in that moment I was always down because the sand in Valdoviño is not very thin, not very little. It's
coarse. It's quite coarse.
Yes,
yeah.
And it's
granular.
Yes, this is it's not built. It's not built hard, you know. It's like a more softy, you know. It's very heavy to walk, because your muscles at the end they are, you know, painful.
It's a good workout.
Yes, it's a very good workout. And then I was there, and I was always making deeper, going deeper in the sand, in the earth. I don't know. I was looking in the sky, and in that moment was thinking, oh my God, if you wanted to take me, do it now, because now I'm so happy and I belong. I always say in the videos that I belong the earth, you know, not my parents. I belong really the nature and the earth. I have a lot of Verbindung, a lot of connection to the nature. Maybe because I was growing up in a very little village we was 50 neighbors, you know, and in my behind my house, it was you could hunting. It was a hunting area with mountains and everything. And I was growing up there. This is maybe the reason I was always in the nature. Uh, Climbing in the trees. My father was shouting, Julia! And I could hear the echo, Julia! And the neighbor said to me, oh, I think your father is calling you. Okay, I go. And maybe I don't know, 1 kilometer far away. But, it's like the Indians. You are shouting on the mountains and it's the echo comes and you heard that. You don't need phones,
No.
And and this was a very appreciated moment where I was thinking, oh my God, how is possible that I'm happy with less.
Yep.
I learned that. I'm happy with less. I don't need luxury. I'm happy in the city, but I told you, I think more or less that in the last time, I always take me away from the people,
You're happy. You prefer to be away from large amounts of people, from crowds.
Yeah. I prefer to be away from crowds. And you know me, I'm speaking with the dogs and with the animals and with the persons and with everyone.
Yeah, you're an extremely social person.
Yes,
You
very extroverted.
Yeah, so it's not that you don't want to be with people, it's just you don't like to be around the big crowds.
No, I always take more place for me, and I want to come back to the roots, I think, to
your
my
roots.
Yeah, to the roots. To the roots. And that was a very happy moment.
Do you? I'll tell you in a minute, but I want to ask you a question first.
Yes.
Are you aware of when you're having a good moment, like something that's you feel is a very special moment? Are you aware at the time? Are you saying to yourself, "Oh, this is a special moment right now. I need to really appreciate this"?
No.
Or is it something that happened that you become aware of after it's happened, and then you think back and you go, "Wow, that was really special"?
In the moment when I am living that feeling, of course I know it's a special moment. That I know it. And I always want to die. It's very strange. But when I have a good moment, I want to die in that moment. Because I always thinking, oh, I need to die when it's something nice. I cannot, you know what I mean? I'm not afraid to die if I am living in a
No,
good
I know
mood.
what you mean. I know what you mean. But it's quite a statement to make. I want to die now, because I can understand what you're saying, because it's like such a special moment. You feel so at ease that if you were to die, it would be the right time.
Yes.
But boy, I hope you don't.
And another moment was this was so funny. I was in Mexico. I have been in Mexico. I love Mexico. It's like I feel in Mexico too, like in my second home. And then I was in Mexico, and then we was going out in the night. Mexico is it's living in this part in the Caribbean, in the Mexican Caribbean. There people live with the sun. That means at 6 or 7 o'clock is sundown and it's completely dark. And Mexico at 12 o'clock in the night is dying. It's no in this area. It's nothing going on. It's like in north of Brazil. People, they are living with the day and with the night. It's normal. We should do it too here, And but they do it. So, and it was yearly. And we come back from. I think we have been in Chichen Itza, and then we come back, and we was very tired, and we went directly to the beach, to our beach, and I was with a girlfriend, and then I went there, and we was in the little bar. It was not a little bar; it was like a hute, like a
hut.
Hut, and then it was open there, but. Still be closed all the time, but we come back from Chichen Itza and it was open. I said, "Oh, let us go there drinking something," and we was asking for not for tequila. We are not, we are really. We know what is Mexico going on. We don't ask for tequila. We ask for mezcal, and we say, "Hey, some mezcal." Okay, this bottle and this bottle. The bottle near the bed one. This one. Okay, take it. So, and we was there with mezcal. You take mezcal with orange and with some red dust, some red pulver.
Red powder.
Powder, yeah.
Really?
The red powder is like a berm. It's a berm. It's like a an animal. It's a worm. It's
Oh, like
dry.
a worm.
Yeah, it's a worm. It's a
Like
dry
a-
worm.
Uh-huh.
And they
And
mash
it's
it.
crushed.
Yeah, this crush make a
Oh, wow.
power, and it's sharp as well. You know, it's
Spicy.
Spicy, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you drink the mezcal in that way, and the mezcal give you a little bit of spirituality thing. People say. We was drinking every night because of parasites. Because someone said to me, if you drink after eating all the time mezcal,
Kill the parasites.
yeah, you will not have problems in Mexico with the parasites. Okay, we did it. Anyway, it was.
Well, it's a good excuse.
After mezcal, we met some people that we know it. We was a very strange group persons. People they were surfing there. Someone else Prague. I don't know what he was doing there. My girlfriend and me, and we went in the hut and make music. And they we was smoking marijuana. Take it from the forest, from the Urwald.
Yeah.
So, and then someone making a joint, they was like that. And we was smoking, and I was like, whoa. So, very high. I went to the beach, and they did. I wanted to go to the water, but they say, hey, güerita, güerita, maybe not, because, güerita, the water, the mezcal, and the marijuana, they are not such good friends.
Not a good combination.
Yeah, maybe you don't go. I say, oh, come on, just to make what my fits. And, Julia is like that and that and that. I say, okay, I go. I was thinking I was completely alone. I was alone. I went in the water, and it was amazing. In
Did you take your clothes off again?
I was made bikini. I was in Mexico. I think it was 7 days longer or 10 days with the same bikini all the time without get a shower and nothing. It's like, you don't change your clothes all the time. I love that. And then I went there, and in this water is like, how I can explain you? The water is fantastic. It's darkish green, the stars, they are like that and very close to you, like you can
touch them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were some fish boats, they are there, but they have they are painted with some color. It's like a flash, it's like a neon.
Yep.
You can see them in the night with the light, and you have the feeling they are flying.
Right. Because they're kind of bobbing on the water.
Yeah,
it
and
looks
they
like
are
they're flying.
You just see something flying around you.
And when you're stoned, you're probably thinking,
and
whoa.
I was stoned, and I was there. I was thinking too. I say, oh my God, I'm so happy. Please, God, if you exist, take me now.
You can kill me now.
Take me now.
Oh,
Take me
God.
now. I want to die. And and nobody said nothing. And when I was come back, I was thinking, okay, I will. He doesn't want to take me now,
Thank God.
Then I turned around. I went back, and I was watching at the coast, and it was two guys, the Prague guy, and an Indian one, a Maya one. He was there, waiting for me and taking care of me.
To make
was
sure
so
you're
sweet.
Yeah.
Leave me, but make sure
You are okay.
Yes, I'm okay.
It's
and
very
it was
very sweet.
Very nice moment. Very nice moment.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So your turn.
Okay, my turn. Like you, I grew up in a small town, actually in the country, and in Australia, the country is very remote in many cases. So I grew up on a property that had 200 acres. So it was a very big property. And my parents bred Arabian horses as well. So we had horses. The farm was totally self-sustainable. So we grew our own vegetables, we grew our own meat, we had our own cows, pigs, everything, milk, chickens, eggs. So we were all self-sustainable. And when I was younger, I did a lot of horse riding, obviously, because we had horses there, and we would just go out riding all the time. And I used to do a lot of show jumping as well when I was a teenager. But one memory that I have that's very close to me is we were riding out with a group of friends, and we actually went off property, and there's a photo of it somewhere. I have a photo of it, of the actual time we were doing it. And I was maybe, I don't know, 15 or 16. And we were 4 of us riding out, 2 guys, 2 girls. And we were just being crazy, you know, like we were riding the horses really fast, full strap gallop over the paddocks. And we went off our property. Beautiful. It was beautiful. We went off our property and we went onto, it was public land, but it was a fire trail. So it was the trail that the fire brigade or firefighters would use if they had.
It's a cut in the forest.
Yeah,
right?
if they needed to get access, if there was a bushfire.
Yes, and this is don't that the fire doesn't go to the other part. No, it's just like a break for the fire break. Yeah, I know that.
But it opened up to this massive, wide open space. And and where I lived was in a valley. We lived in a valley. It's called Canimbla Valley, and it's a beautiful area, and it has these mountains around it. You're surrounded by mountains. It really is quite beautiful. And I'll never forget, we were riding out at sun. I think it was just as it was late afternoon, and the sun was starting to set, and the mountains all around us had these beautiful stones or rocks at the top of them. And when the sun hit them, they were like this beautiful golden amber color. It was really something beautiful to see. And we were, you know, riding, we were just being stupid. We were really crazy riding so fast, and, you know, like no contact on the horse. I was just sitting on the horse, literally just throwing the reins off, you know, just sitting there. And there's a photo of me. They took a photo of me with, you know, I'm showing off with my legs forward and no reins, and just like, yeah, it was really, really, really crazy. But it was a special moment, you know, because it was, I guess you could say it's almost like the epitome of youth, you know, like you have no fear. What you're doing is pretty dangerous, because if you fall off, you could really hurt yourself. But I was a good rider. So when you know what you're doing, you have confidence, you know your self-ability, so you do things maybe. And when you're younger, you do things perhaps you shouldn't anyway, you know, you take a little more risk. But that was very special. But the reason why I asked if you were aware of it, you know, at the time when you have these special moments for you, was because for me, even at that time, I knew that was a special thing. I don't know why, but I just thought to myself, you know, this is a special day. There is something special about this moment right now. And I don't know whether it was because I had a connection with the horse or a connection with nature, as you say that you have, because I have a strong connection also with nature. I love nature and I love animals, and obviously horses are very special to me too. And it was just one of those times I just thought, this is special. So, yeah. And then there was another time, which also happened to be on a horse, crazy, but I was now maybe my early 20s, and it was here in Germany, where I was, I think I told you in a previous episode, I moved here in my early 20s to this farm up in Niedersachsen.
Yes.
And we used to, every day they let the young, or at the time they would let all the young stallions out. From the Scheune, they would go out to the field, and then they would go from the field across the road onto another field. And there were some days when they didn't want to come back in, like it was a summer afternoon or a summer night, and they want to stay out, or it wasn't cold, so they were like, no, let's stay out. And then Holger said to me, André, can you go get Gaboon, get a horse, and go out there with a horse and bring them back. And I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. And what Holger meant was literally just go with the lead and walk a horse out there and then come back. I'm like, that's too far away. I'm going to jump on the horse bareback and I'll ride him out there. So, and the horse happened to be my ex-wife's horse at the time. And he was a beautiful horse too, very calm, very well trained. So, you know, I trusted him. I trusted the horse. And he had a halter. I just had a halter, no bridle. So literally just a halter. I put the lead around his neck. I jumped on bareback and I rode out there. And Holger said, what are you doing? I said, yeah, I'm going to get the horses. He's like, okay. Okay, like you didn't expect that, right? And so I rode out there, and there's probably, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40 young stallions. You know, like they're almost like between a year and 2 years of age. So they're very wild, right? They're very wild horses. And I'm going out there on Gaboon bareback, and open the gate, and then I start trotting back to the Shoiner, and then before too long, I was again just going flat strap, like galloping all the way back to the gate, to the Shoiner, with maybe
With
40 stallions behind me.
they was follow.
They followed me, of course, because they're a herd. It's a herd
Yeah.
instinct for an animal.
Yeah.
They'll follow a leader, right? So we were flat strap galloping bareback with a halter, with 40 stallions behind me. And at the moment when I was on that horse and I looked behind me and I saw these
I
crazy animals behind me, I thought, I better not fall off right now. It's like, stay the fuck on this horse, because if you fall off, you are dead.
Yes, they fall on you.
So luckily I stayed on, and I got back to when I got the horses back to the gate and into the Shoiner. You know, Holger was there, and the people that worked on the farm were there as well, and they all looked at me. Their faces, their jaws were on the ground, and they looked at me like, "What the fuck did you just do? You fucking idiot!" Like they were like, "You fucking stupid or what?" And I was like, "No, why? I was, you know, I'm okay. I can do that. That's no problem." But that was a special moment for me too, because I was like, my adrenaline was just pumping crazy when you've got so many wild animals behind you and you're sitting on a wild animal with nothing but your bodies, no saddles,
Amazing,
you know, and flat strap. And Gaboon was like, he was really pumped when we got back. He was so excited. He wanted to go again. Like,
Didn't you feel like a flautista from Hamelin? You know, they are you know,
like, oh, the Pied Piper.
From Hamelin, with
leading the rats.
They was
In
coming
many ways,
like
it's a little bit like that. Yeah, a little bit like that.
very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of my experiences I had when I was younger.
With
I had a lot
animals,
of those types of experiences with animals, and like you know, when I grew up, or when I became a young adult and I started to do my work and get into what we would call normal life, the connection with my childhood, you sense it slipping away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Those special moments, they don't happen so often anymore, because you're working all the time or you're worrying about God knows what. So I think it's really important when you have those moments that you try to be very aware of them, because they're very rare. I don't think they happen so often. Maybe they happen more for other people than for others. But from my side, from my perspective, I had more special moments when I was younger, growing up, than I did as an adult. You know, that I could go back and say, wow, that was something to really cherish.
I have two moments as an adult too, and this is I love that because I was thinking I will never, you think always, will I have again moments like a child, and you do. I did, it is really that happened things to me, even as like an adult person. And this is wonderful, because it's always this magic there, and I think that we still be, best is if you still be a child, I don't leave the child getting out from me.
And keep your inner child.
Yes, maybe this is a reason I take the things too now in another way. Maybe there are persons, they lose his child, during the years, and I didn't. I wanted to get it always with me. You stay with me.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a reason I enjoy now. I can enjoy now again.
Yeah.
Many things. And like you say, for a long time you lost the contact to your childhood and that to the person that you was.
Yeah.
because you are so busy in another
Yeah.
things in your
Yeah.
development, like a person and blah blah blah, and then family, and many things, they go lose it on this travel, to nowhere. You know what I mean?
But it's funny. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I think it's the same for everybody. Maybe at a certain period of time in your life, a friend of mine, a very special and dear friend of mine, would always tell me that, when you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, that they're your warrior years. They're the years when you have to work hard, fight for what you want, and really make it happen. And I'll never forget her when she first told me that, because this was a very dear friend of ours who we would spend a lot of time with before my son was born. And I was a young father, and I was very nervous about becoming a father at that age. And she was just like, these are your warrior years, you'll get through, you'll fight through. And I think that was kind of the attitude that I took over that period of time. But now, in the age that I'm at now, I'm kind of going back to that, where I want to have those moments again, start to have more moments for myself and do and experience things that are special again.
Yes, because you give up the responsibilities, like you take the handbag, it's called the handbag, the bag, the handbag, when you wearing, what is you wearing things?
Oh, the backpack.
The backpack.
Yeah.
You take the backpack.
Yeah.
Out.
You're taking it off. Yeah.
Yeah, off, and then you can put another new one with another experience, like a adult person, but like a person who has not more responsibilities in, like family responsibilities, because they are adults, they are old, like your son. Your son has making his life perfectly. You, of course, you worry like father, but you must not.
No.
You are free from these worries.
Yeah.
Not like me. I am in another situation because I worry all the time, because I have a son with psychical problems, illness, and a very strong schizophrenia, and another kind of problems too. And this is Felipe is like that is always going to be with me. I have all the time this responsibility. But I learned, this is maybe where we are going to do another podcast, I learned to live with a very heavy weight on my back.
Yeah.
I learned how to do. I learned how to be happy, even if
and you
I
know
have
why? It's probably because you didn't let go of your inner child. Because
maybe
your inner child was always with you.
I was always thinking, I don't care what the destiny is prepared for me. I don't want to be sad, and I never will go to be sad. Maybe a big illness going to make me sad, for sure. Maybe, I don't know how to manage that, because I'm not a good illness person. But the destiny, I need to do the best, and I really do that. And I don't know how, but I can say many people maybe how you can think positive even if you have shit behind you, you know. Yeah. And I had really bad moments, you know that.
Yeah.
This is the reason, because now I enjoy the moments where I'm free, or where I feel I am free. Yeah. You know, where I feel, it's like for me, it's like a medicine for my from my spirit and for my body.
Well, I also think, you know, if it wasn't for bad moments in life, you wouldn't really appreciate the good ones.
That's right.
You know, and I think there's always that balance with everything in life.
That's right.
And nothing in life is ever going to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be wonderful and pony farms and rainbows, you know. It just doesn't happen like that.
No.
But I think what's important is when you do have those nice moments, it's recognizing them and really appreciating them and holding on to them, you know.
I tell you, another nice moment for me was because, one thing is the nature to give me always this feeling I am there, you know. I find my place, you know, on the earth. And another, and in the same way, my family make me too very happy. I think because I'm so Spanish. I don't know. I need all to have around me. And I remember a night. Of course, I have been many times with my parents and together, but my parents got divorced after 30 years marriage. Very crazy, But anyway, they did it, and then it was like a castle was coming down, because your 30 years life, is a shit if it's broken. For me, it was my fundament. It was my basis too, life basis, and it was gone. Even if I was an adult person, but it was.
So it affected you even as an adult still.
Of course, because I think 30 years is a lot of time to be in a family, and from one day to another one, you don't have more that family. I don't know.
No, yeah, I disagree. We're dissecting now a little bit, but you still have family.
Yes, but at the moment it's a shock. First and I was a child, even if I was 30 years old, I was a child.
You were their child.
Their child, and I was a child, and I still be a child from my parents, and you still be the child from your mother.
Yes, but you were not a child in your.
But
you're a mature woman.
Of course, but of course not. But you are the child from your parents.
Yes.
Even if you are 60 or 80.
Of course.
So long they are living, you are always a child, know. And so okay. I want to make it shorter. I wanted to marry second time. Yeah. Second time married. And then my parents was coming after the divorce together to my second marriage, right? And then they stay living. In that moment, I was living in Cologne, in a flat in downtown, in a very old building. It was very nice. Living there was very sweet place, and my parents was coming. I don't remember. I think my parents was in the hotel, and my sisters was in my flat, and another sisters part of the family was in the apartment over me, like with a neighbor. It was very, very sweet. So they come all in a big van from Spain driving, and it was my sister, boyfriend from my sister, because the boyfriend from my sister in that moment was like my family as well. My other sister, my mother, my father, and my nephew, and I don't know if somebody else was coming as well. I don't remember. No, that's all. So, and I remember we went out in the night before, 1 day or 2 days before we get married. We went out. We were sitting all in the van in this car, and in Cologne was maybe more or less 30 degrees. It was really warm night. It happens sometimes in Cologne, you know that.
Yep.
And it was really warm. And then we opened the windows, and when we come back from the restaurant, home late, we was driving in Cologne, and it was playing music from Alejandro Sainz, and it was a very nice song, like tiritas pa este corazón partido, tiritas pa este corazón partido. It's a wonderful song with wonderful words, and everybody knows that song. Everybody. That's mean we was singing,
all singing it together,
all together, very loud with open windows and the warm air, and was singing all this long. Tiritas pa este corazón partido, tiritas pa este. And it was, in that moment, I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, how I can be so happy,
That's great.
Yeah. And it was a moment I remember. But it was again the wind, the warmth from the night, the music, my family.
It's all these different factors that come together, right?
And all there, and this was a very special moment too, that I have it always in my in
your memory,
in my memory. And I'm a lucky person. I have a huge nice moments, a special moments. Sometimes don't happen to you. Don't happen to you sometimes that when you are very, very happy. Do you want to share that with somebody else?
Oh, for sure. Yeah? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would always prefer to share a happy experience, a moment with someone, especially someone close to me. Yeah, of course.
Your
Yeah,
happiness.
yeah, yeah.
Because happiness
I mean,
doesn't.
I can do it on my own, but I'd
Yeah.
rather have someone there enjoying it with me
Yeah.
and sharing the experience. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What is about when your son was born in? How it was for you?
When my son was born, it was quite
Yeah.
an experience. Yeah, it was a big deal. I was a total wreck. I was a nervous wreck. I was shitting myself. I was very nervous.
Really?
Yeah, I was. I was very nervous. I probably was more nervous for my partner at the time, because I was just worried that everything would go okay and that she would be all right and that the baby would be all right. I mean, one of the things that when I get nervous, I have my I lose control. No, I don't necessarily lose control, but let's just say my movements get very loose. Okay, so I find myself with a case of diarrhea, a really bad case of diarrhea when we were at the hospital, and I was saying to the nurses at the time, yeah, is there like have people been complaining about food poisoning, because I'd been eating in the canteen at the hospital, and I wondered why I had to always go to the toilet, and every time I was on the toilet, it was really bad, right? Yeah, it was the nerves. But I was like saying to the nurses, "Is there some food poisoning going around the hospital?" And they were all laughing at me behind. Like, my wife told me later, the nurses were just laughing at you the whole time when you weren't there, because you were asking whether there was food poisoning because you couldn't stop going to the toilet. It was crazy. So yeah, I was really, really, really nervous. But in the end, everything went fine. Zach was born, and again, very special moment, because he unfortunately couldn't be born naturally, because at the time my wife had not dilated enough, and it was getting to the point where it was dangerous. So the doctor said, we have to do a cesarean now to get this baby out safely and for your safety. So that was what happened. And when we were in the operating room, I was obviously sitting there comforting my wife, and then the doctor was doing his business, and then pulled Zach out, and I was watching the whole thing as well. I could see everything that was going on, and it was like quite an incredible thing to see a
Born
a human being come out of someone like that.
From another human.
Yeah, even though it was a cesarean section, but it's still, it was like, holy shit. And then, after you see the baby and they show the baby, they take the baby away to clean it or prepare it. And I went with him. Like Sandra said to me, go with him. So I went with him. And the time when we went out of the room and we were walking towards, I think we went into an elevator to go to another section. I was looking at, because he was in a little like box or crib or whatever, and I was looking at him, and he opened his eyes and he looked right at me.
Oh.
Yeah, like it was like this. Like our eyes just connected, and I was like, oh my God, like that was a really powerful moment, like almost like a connection, was made.
Oh,
that was an incredible moment. And then anyway, the next day when we went there and I had to change his nappy, the first nappy I changed, the first thing he did, he shat all over my arm.
Bring luck.
So welcome to fatherhood. Yeah, but no, that was it was a pretty amazing time. It's so long ago now, but I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yes, I think you will never forget that moment. It's impossible.
No.
It's impossible.
Yeah, but that, again, I was such a nervous wreck the whole time, and the labor was so long for Sandra. It took so long for the baby to actually come. It was, I can only imagine how demanding it is for the woman to go through the process, and it taught me an enormous respect and admiration for women and for what they have to go through when it comes to childbirth, because there's a reason why God made women have babies and not men, because there is no way a man would be up for that shit. They'd be like, fuck that. We're not having kids. There's just no kids coming into the world. That's why women do it, I think, because there's just a lot more strength there. There's inner strength that men don't have. I tell you, that's an incredible thing.
Today I was hearing something very funny. There was a man said, women, they have the period, they 5 days at the month, and they have a lot of pain, and they are, they are shouting for pain, some of them. Then they have babies, and they the body is like broken, and they have a lot of pain, and look, and she doesn't die.
No.
And if you think she's gonna die for you, baby, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And it was very funny because he's right. Said if she says, if you think, she's so in love that she's going to die for you, she's not. They are so strong, stronger that.
Incredible.
Incredible. I don't have the experience to burn kids, because I have an adopt my sons, and but I had the experience when I became mother. It was very strange feeling. First, the experience in Germany, because it was very, how I can say, I was waiting a long, long time for that boy, maybe more or less 5 years, And when it's happened, it was very crazy because I moved from Munich to Cologne, and I had nothing in Cologne. We was sleeping in the flat from a friend of us that he was living in China, and he was studying Chinese Wissenschaft and many Chinese things, and all the apartment was full from Chinese mask and a lot of Chinese things everywhere. And then we was one day I will tell you, but because we was speaking about in which cities you have a good moods, and the biorhythms, they are going to work or not. And Munich was like, for me, I was living there. For me, it was like stop my life for 3 years long. I cannot explain you.
You felt like your life had stopped for 3 years living in Munich.
Yes, okay. It happened absolutely nothing. Nothing I can tell now. Nothing I can be proud now.
Right.
Nothing is make my life happy. Absolutely nothing. So, and then when I went out from Munich with the car, I was on the highway. I think it's the 99 from Munich to Nuremberg. I was looking behind, and I was making like that, fuck off. So, and I
to who?
To the city, to what I
okay.
What I leave behind me, I was like
it's like good riddance. Fuck off.
And I was crying in the car.
Really?
Oh
wow.
Yeah. What happened these 3 years? I have the feel it was like a block. My life was blocked.
Yeah.
And when I was driving out in this highway, was like a
release.
Something is going to open, and the block was
gone.
Well, it's gone. It's very, very strange.
That is strange.
So this night I went in Cologne. After I was waiting 5 years for a child, that someone called. I went to Cologne, sleeping in that flight I described before. That was Saturday. Sunday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, ring my handy, my mobile. It's ringing my mobile, call my mobile. I completely off. Of course, after moving there, for cases not open, things hanging there and there, and sleeping in a bed is not yours. Sorry, sleeping in a bed is not yours. And then I was, ring the phone. I take the phone and I say hello, and then I was put it again, take it off.
You hung up.
Yeah, hung up. And then again, after 5 minutes, I say hello. I say good morning, Frau Vega Martinez. Good morning. I say good morning. I didn't know where I am. It's Sunday, and I hope you are. I hope Sie sind you are sitting, because I have a very good reason to wake up today, to wake you up. And I say, it must be a very good reason. Say, you are mother. I say, what? You are mother. We find a baby for you and you are mother. Wonderful. I say, what? I cannot believe it. After, it's like a very spiritual, everything happens there, no? Yeah. And then I wake up, I was springing on the bed. We are parents, we're mother, and parents. And, I got my child, I make it impresora with a Druk machine, with the printer. Yeah. I got a picture from Felipe with the printer. Yeah. Printer, tak, 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 tak. He was coming out and put it in the kitchen, So, and we was drinking the coffee like this is my son? Oh my God, he's so pretty. This is my son. I cannot believe it. And Andres, my husband, was running, buying. I didn't know what he wanted to do, but he was running, from the flat outside. And he came back after maybe, 20 minutes with Brüchens and flowers, buying in Aldi or in the Tankstelle, I think, And was sitting there and say, thank you, or you say when you get mother, you be mother. Congratulations, thank you. And then we put the flowers there. We was watching Felipe. We was make a breakfast. I was crying. I was happy crying all the time like that.
Emotional.
And then André said to me, "Do you know which day is today?" And I say, "No." I say, today is 12 March, it's Mother Day. I was like, what? It's Mother Day. Your mother and the Mother Day. And I was thinking, it was like thinking. And he was from the beginning so special that all the time, until now he's a special, a special guy, Yeah. And the other nice moment when I went to Brazil, it was like you maybe very, very, very nervous because it was like a blind date.
Yeah.
Feeling like a blind date.
Well, it's a very different type of experience as well, right?
I was alone there. I was taking him in the orphanage,
Yeah.
And from the first moment, the Richter, the judge, gave me a Obhut, like a paper, like you are now the responsibility for this
You're the
guy.
guardian.
Yeah, you are the guardian, official guardian. And I took him with me. It was hard time. It was very fun, nice, but very hard time, I can tell you. We will speak of, in another moment about that. Yeah. All the time was very hard in Brazil. Anyway, it was very crazy. And I have to tell when my husband was coming, more or less 3 months later, because for the church, or 4 months later, he must come in to be in the end for the church and the papers, make the papers.
Yep.
Sure. And he was flying, and we were in the airport. And of course, you are with a child in the airport, waiting for my husband, and he was. Say everyone, hello, Papa. I say, no, Felipe, he is not. And the next one was coming out, Papa. I say, no, Felipe, this is not Papa. Hello, Papa. I think every man was coming out, was saying, hello, Papa.
Some men are probably like, oh shit, that's Jesus. No,
yes, what I did.
No, what have I done?
Yeah, it was so sweet.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was so sweet. Yeah.
Very
and
good.
at that moment, I was not more important, He was the important person. In that moment, he was the important person. Women are like, I was not more important.
No, I don't know.
But it was a very happy moment too,
for sure.
But more happy for me was the day they call, because all this, Mother Day and this, that the day I went there, because I was like, I was like a flan, like a pudding, I was so nervous. Yeah. My heart was like a It was very, very, very special.
Yeah, it is. Those are very special times,
yes.
And even though perhaps you didn't, your motherhood didn't come from the traditional ways of motherhood, but it's still, you know, it's your way, it's your journey to being a mother and becoming a mother, and it's very special to you. And that's a moment you should never underestimate.
No, and
You
at the end, with the years, you can see that to be mother is not to born someone, it's
No,
to be
exactly.
is to be with, and the
Exactly.
roce, also they are together, and the life
Yep.
make you mother or father.
Yeah, exactly.
I always say that you know, to be a mother or to born a baby is not a guarantee for love.
No,
For
no,
love.
no. Well,
For
there's
love
many children born
Yes.
into unloving families and unloving parents.
250,000 children in Germany in the orphanages. 250,000.
That's a horrible
Yes,
number.
you
far
can
too many.
see that to be a mother is not
No.
give you not
No.
the door, open the door for to be the best
No.
person. You know, I always say every idiot can be parents.
Exactly.
And it's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Every idiot
You need a
can be
driver's
parent.
license to drive a car, but anyone can have a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
This
very
is,
true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And okay, but this is another podcast.
Yeah, we're going to cover that on another session.
Yes.
But I think for now,
It's okay. Yes.
we wrap this one up, eh?
Yes, and we leave now the people there. Maybe they want to share nice moments with us.
Yeah.
Write it there.
Yeah.
If
Leave a
they
comment
like.
what your
Yes.
special moments were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now we are going to make some Spanish food.
See.
And maybe we're recording something after
Yeah.
that again.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to dinner.
Yes, please. Okay.
Very good. All right.
So,
Well,
bye.
until next time.
Yes, bye.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.